ராமானுஜதயாபாத்திரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம் லக்ஷ்மீநாதசமாரம்பாம் நாதயா முனமத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரியபர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குருபரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமச்சுதபதாம்புஜயுக்மருக்ம व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्धना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं पुनयादि परां गतिम् वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षाद् रामायणात्मना अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्का भयङ्करं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आञ्जनेयमदिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं। नमः सदसे नमः सभायै। With the abundant blessings of Paramatma Shriyapati, this is the concluding day of the 4-day lecture series titled Ramayana Rahasyas, the secrets of the Ramayana. Day 1 and day 2, we had the opportunity to experience at the RV Dental College premises last week. We covered 3 plus 3, 6 Rahasyas in those 2 days put together. Subsequently, yesterday, the 3rd day, we had the bhagyam to discuss the penultimate lecture, Rahasya, the 7th one in the order, which completely dealt with Hanuman Anjaneya Swami. Today, the concluding day of the lecture, we will be having the 8th Rahasya, the last of the Rahasyas. When I say last of the Rahasyas, it means in the list that we have planned, it is the last Rahasya. Purvacharyas have discussed very many more Rahasyas which could be dealt with in the months and years to come by some Vidwan. This last Rahasya is titled very simply with one word, surrender, which is Sharanagati. In Bharata Desham, we have had the paddhati of bathing in holy rivers. So we have a prachina shloka, which I'm sure most of you will be well aware of. Gangescha Yamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhin Kuru. We discuss of the nadis that flow from Uttara Bharatam to Dakshina Bharatam. All of these are called nadis. But technically, in Samskrita Bhasha, anything that flows eastward is called nadi. For example, Mahanadi, Krishna, Tungabhadra, Kaveri, Tamraparni. to some extent even Ganga and Brahmaputra. These are all largely east flowing. So they are termed Nadi. But those rivers which flow westward should be referred to as Nada, not Nadi. That is how Vyakarana says, Nada Nadi Bhavam, we call it. But it will be too technical for anybody to just say the name of the river. You have to look into the map. Then check whether it is going eastward or westward. Then you'll have to finally decide if it is Nadi or Nada. So generally we refer to all of them as Nadis. When all these Nadis have been described in such great detail, it is a Paddhati in Sanatana Dharma that people go and bathe in the waters. But it is a bit problematic today. Why? Because people who grew up in villages in the olden days used to go to the river and bathe. It was a daily ritual for them to go to the river. And thereby, when there used to be monsoons and the river water's level used to rise, they were used to diving, swimming. So there was this 29 days crash course in swimming was generally not there because people learned swimming as a skill. But now that we are used to bathing in a 4 feet by 2 feet space, bathing in a river itself becomes a task. How to change clothes, where to change clothes. And second thing, people who were used to bathing in the rivers would know the depth. Where the depth is slow, where it is shallow flowing, which is suitable for bathing. So, even today, if you go to the great river Ganga, especially in Kashi Kshetram, Varanasi, you will find very many places where they have constructed steps. You can walk them down and then bathe. Such places are referred to as ghattams in Sanskrit. In a river, flowing river, places which are deemed safe for people to walk down, you will find those places as ghattams. This is what is generally referred to in Hindi Bhasha as ghat. You find Dashashvamedha Ghat, Manikarnika Ghat, Bindu Madhava Ghat, Bindu Madhavana Ghattake Hoguve Tare Bindigeya, Taraka Bindige Naniri Hoguve Tare Bindigeya, Bindige Vodadare Vonde Kasu, Tare Bindigeya, Bindu Madhavana ಘಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಸರು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಉತ್ತರ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋ ಶಬ್ದ ಘಾಟ್, ಆದರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಪ್ರಯೋಗ ಘಟ್ಟ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಘಟ್ಟಂ or ghat were deemed very good. This is for the river. In a river, in an allegorical river called Brahmanubhavam, you have to imagine that the Anubhava, the experience, the exquisite experience that you have of Brahman flows like a river. It's an allegorical depiction. In that river called Brahmanubhavam, our Purvacharyas have constructed 3 different places with steps, with the side rails where you can hold them, walk it down and bathe. Those 3 places are marked as A, B and C. Point A, Ghat A, Ghattam A, where you can bathe in the river called Brahmanubhavam is called Upanishad. Upanishad is the first ghat where you can experience Brahman, which flows as a river. The second Ghattam is called as Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Third is known as Brahma Sutras. So these 3, Ghat 1, 2, 3 or A, B and C or Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras is called Prasthanatrayam. So in the earlier days, a person was referred to as a great Acharya if he had commented upon all these 3. Adi Shankaracharya based his philosophy on Advaita, Maya Visishta Advaita, non-dualism, and commented upon all the three. We have Adi Shankara's Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, we have Adi Shankara's Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, we have Adi Shankara's Bhashyam, commentary on Dashopanishads, Isha Kena Kataprashna Munda Mandukya, Taitiriya Aitareya Brihadaranyaka Shvetashvatara. These are the 10 basic Upanishads, over and above which 5 more are very important. Chandogya, Subala, Mahanarayana, Kaushitaki and Mantrika. 10 plus 5, 15. So Adi Shankara has commented. So he is deemed as the Acharya of Advaita Siddhanta. Similarly, in Visishta Advaita, we have Jagadacharya Bhagavad Ramanuja, who has commented upon the Brahma Sutras. It is called Sri Bhashyam, followed by his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhagavad Ramanuja's Gita Bhashyam. Third comes the very important Upanishads, to which he has composed a work called Vedartha Sangraham. So, in his 9 works, these 3 primarily focus, and that qualifies him to be an Acharya of the Visishtadvaita school. Similarly, if you take Tattvavada, which is Dvaita Siddhanta, we have Ananda Tirtha, Purna Prajna Srimadacharya, Madhvacharya, who has commented. So they are generally called Trimatasthas. You know, the beauty is, all the 3 who wrote strictly in Sanskritam, all the 3 great Acharyas of Advaita, Visishtadvaita, Dvaita Siddhanta come from the southern states. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. In the last 6 months, the amount of media attention on some of the half-baked statements when people talk about languages, right? One will say Tamil only should be spoken. But the irony is, he will not be able to stress on the Ra of Tamil. Second is another person who will lead and give confusing statements that all languages have come from Tamil. He's another Brihaspati. The third will slap a person if he doesn't speak in Marathi. Where are we leading ourselves to? Agreed that Matru Bhasha is to be given utmost respect. There is no denial about it. But that doesn't mean you either demean another language or you stop people from learning the other language. You cannot coax someone to learn a language. Agreed. But there are better ways to, speak to people about languages. You sing 2 Devarnamas in Kannada. A person who doesn't know Kannada also will be attracted to this language and will start learning. There is a nicer way of telling things. There is a dharmic way of dealing with things. That said, these 3 acharyas have dealt with this. So first is Upanishads, second is Bhagavad Gita, third is Brahma Sutras. Sir, generally you take us into the story very early. What is today? Today is too philosophical. See, I see a jam-packed auditorium, right? I know even if it is boring for a few minutes, they will find it tough to go out. So this is the right time to spell out philosophy. I know. 1. Second, Upanishads talk about 32 ways. See, this is very important for us to understand the fundamentals. It talks about 32 prescribed ways to understand Brahman's qualities. Those have been beautifully categorized as Brahma Vidyas, which are 32 in number. 32 is a unique 2-digit number which suffices 2 conditions. X power x plus y power y plus z power z, which is 1 power 1 plus 2 power 2 plus 3 power 3 is 32. Correct? You told me number 3 power 3 is how much? 27 plus 2 power 2. What does it make it? 31 plus 1 power 1. 30. The other way to get 32 is x power y plus y power x. 2 power 4 plus 4 power 2 is also 32. Correct? 2 power 4 is how much? 4 power 2? 16 plus 16? 32. The only two-digit number that suffices both Lloyd's number and Reynolds number is 32. So it is the count of Brahma Vidyas. So we have 32 Brahma Vidyas prescribed from our understanding of the Upanishads. One of the Brahma Vidya is called sadhana or upasana. That is also known in the common man's language as Bhakti Yoga. So out of these 32 Brahma Vidyas, it is this Brahma Vidya called Bhakti Yoga, which is taken in detail by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. We have come from step Ghat 1 to Ghat 2. Arjuna's question was very simple. Should I fight them or not? That's all. Krishna should have said fight, or don't fight, go home. This was the opportunity for him to use the mic. Here, I am very thankful to the organizers. I'll tell you why, honestly. In many places, with good heart, people will take the mic and introduce me. First, they will say, I did computer engineering. I didn't do. So, most of the information about me will be either exaggerated or wrong. And they will never lay the mic for another 10 minutes. So, my request has always been, don't give any introduction. We are there to speak about the Ramayana. We'll continue speaking about the Ramayana. So in the 32 Brahma Vidyas, we see Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga has been spoken in detail by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He has distributed the shlokas in 18 chapters. The first chapter, chapter 1 to chapter 6, deals with Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Chapter 1 to chapter 6 is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Chapter 7 to chapter 12 is Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna calls Bhakti Yoga as the vehicle that carries the Jivatma to Paramatma. This Bhakti Yoga vehicle needs two wheels. Kannadasan, the Tamil poet, says, Vandi voda chakkarangal irandu mattum vendum, irandil ondru siriyadendral, எந்த வண்டி ஓடும் மதியாதார் தலைவாசல் மிதியாதே என்று மானமுள்ள மனிதனுக்கு அவ்வை சொன்னது அது அவ்வை சொன்னது அதில் அர்த்தம் உண்டு. Vandi voda, for a vehicle to ply you need two vehicles. The first wheel is called Karma Yoga, wheel 2 is called Jnana Yoga. Wheel 1 and wheel 2, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, have been detailed from chapter 1 to chapter 6. The vehicle called Bhakti Yoga has been described between chapter 7 and chapter 12. Then what about the remaining 6 chapters? Q&A session. Arjuna said, you have told too many things in one go. I have questions from chapter 1 to chapter 12. Krishna said, ask. All those questions and answers are between chapter 13 and chapter 18. So this is Bhakti Yoga. The same thing has been detailed by Badarayana in the Brahma Sutras, Ghat 3. Now, Bhakti Yoga has lot of advantages and some limitations. The limitation is when you do Bhakti Yoga along with Karma and Jnana, you have to have Antima Smriti. When the Atma is about to leave the body, material body, you should think of Bhagavan. After having done Bhakti Yoga throughout your life, but in the last second, if you think of the doctor or the nurse, again you will have another Janma. So this has been detailed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So then our Acharyas thought this is a very tough thing. Thinking of Bhagavan when we are suffering from good health itself is a task. Imagine when we are in the ICU bed, you have to think of Bhagavan. Then nobody is entitled for moksha. That is when Krishna gives another choice. He calls it Sharanagati. In the 32 Brahma Vidyas, one of the Brahma Vidya is Nyasa Vidya. In that Nyasa Vidya, he talks about Sharanagati, the way the Jivatma has to surrender to Paramatma. Krishna talks about this in a brief in his avataram. Then Arjuna asked, How will I know the details of Sharanagati, who all did, and how will it fructify? For that Krishna said, read the Ramayana. Because Ramayanam is called Sharanagati Vedam. So this is our 8th Rahasya of the day, that Ramayana's 8th Rahasya is Sharanagati. Now, Sharanagati has been performed by various people at different points in time. The first Sharanagati, if I will be describing all the Sharanagatis, you can follow, you can take notes, you can record. If you want, you can even audio record. I have no copyright problem. Please audio record. You can share it with your family members. Let whatever we speak, because we don't have any copyright. Vyasa and Valmiki should have. We don't have any copyright. Feel free to record and share it with your family members. Everybody should become a Dharma Pracharaka. Feel free to record, but don't stop listening. The first Sharanagati comes in Kshirabdi. It is where when the Devas go to the Milky Ocean, which is Kshirabdi, Karya Vaikuntham, and request Bhagavan that there has been a lot of problems on Mother Earth because of the Rakshasas. That is when we have the famed shloka of the 4th Adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya cha Dushkritam, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. This is called an Avatara Rahasya shloka. It appears in the 4th chapter. And if you are used to that Biyad Chopra Mahabharata, Atha Shri Mahabharata Katha, then there will be one black background, one circle will go, Main Kalu. So at least we remember some shlokas from serials. Good. Rest Ranbir and Sai Pallavi will teach. Now, Paritranaya Sadhunam, to protect the sadhus. Who are the sadhus? We are the sadhus. Paritranaya Sadhunam. Second, what is the objective? Vinashaya cha Dushkritam, to get the demoniac forces annihilated. Thereby, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. Now there is a question that Bhagavad Ramanuja raises in his Gita Bhashya. He says, is Bhagavan so cruel? Is he waiting whom to kill? One, if you believe he is omniscient and omnipresent, he can do that very well from Vaikuntha. Why should he be born as Dasharatha's son, study under Vasishtha, marry Sita, come to the forest, wait till she is kidnapped, then construct one setu without going to an engineering college, and then retrieve Sita? All this is not required, right? That is where he says, Bhagavan has not taken the avataram to annihilate Ravana and Kamsa. All our storybooks will begin. Oh, there was a tyrant king called Kans, and that Kans was so cruel, and Bhagwan, Paramatma, came as not required. See, before Bhagavan Shakti, Kamsa is Jujubi. Too little. Bhagavan doesn't have to spend his energy. With remote control he can do. Then why did he come? This is where Ramanuja answers very intelligently. He could have chosen to get rid of the demoniac forces who apparently are his children as well. But he chose to get incarnated only if he is incarnated. If he takes an avataram, he can go to the ashramam of Shabari. He can go and embrace Guha. He can make friends with Hanuman. He can go to the hermitage of Vidura. So Bhagavan wanted his association with devotees. That can happen only if he incarnates. So he chose Paritranaya Sadhunam. Then that Vinashaya cha Dushkritam, that is a byproduct. See, in the southern states, there is a tiffin delicacy called Upma. Have you heard of it? Upma is also called Uppittu. Telugulo ఏవండి అది? Uppittu. Uppindi, Uppindi, Uppittu, Upma. മലയാളത്തിൽ എന്താണ് ഉപ്മ? അത് కొంచెం മാറ്റി ചൊല്ലിട്ട് ഉപ്മ. So we have this. What do we use? We use rava. And we make, somehow we finish that upma. Upma is the main product. But at times, more than the main product, there is a caramelized portion of the upma that sticks itself to the making vessel. Have you tasted that? That will be tastier than the main upma. So, paritranaya sadhunam is upma, vinashaya cha dushkritam is the caramelized portion. That is why our concentration is fully on that. When the Devas performed Sharanagati, Siddha Gandharva Yakshascha Tataswam Sharanam Gataha Tvam Gatif Parama Deva Sarvesham Naf Param Tapa. So here we had the Devas performing Sharanagati at the feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan then said, Bhayam Tyajata Bhadram Vo Hitatham Yudhiravanam Saputra Pautram Samatyam Samantrignati Bandhavam. Do not worry. He said, don't worry. This is called Abhaya Pradhanam. I've told you in some of my lectures. We go with a bhayam to Bhagavan's sannidhi, sanctum, saying that I'm very worried, I have performed a baggage of sins. This is what Shastram says, Aparadha Sahasra Bhajanam Patitam Bhima Bhavarnavodare Agatim Sharanagatam Harehe Kripaya Kevalam Atmasat Guru. Protect me. What will we expect? Bhagavan will say, don't worry. Don't worry. But his tone and tenor is not like that. You say you have committed papas, right? Don't worry. See, it all depends on the tone in which you say things, right? In T2 terminal of Mumbai airport, there is one eating outlet called Vango. Have you seen Vango? So Vango is a magical Tamil word that respectfully welcomes people home. So there's a way of saying it. Vango. Vango, Vango. Vango. சொல்லிட்டு வந்திருக்கலாம். Right? The way you say it, right? When Bhagavan says, do not worry, that's so soothing. But he wouldn't say that. Do not worry. Now we really don't know whether we have to worry or not. Then we go to the Sannidhi of Mahalakshmi. She too has this. See, it's called Punarukti Dosham in literature. If you are falling short of words when you speak, you will keep repeating the same word. Actually, I told you. Actually, I said. Actually, if you take certain speeches, you will have that actually a lot. Because when you fall short of words, you will keep repeating it. So it's called Punaha Ukti. Punar Ukti Dosham. So if Bhagavan says, do not worry, Bhagavati should do something else. But she too does this, which is a Punarukti Dosham. No. The Acharya says, no. He says, do not worry. She says, do not worry about him. There's a difference, right? When we go on our yatras, there are certain couples, both of them very compatible. In certain cases, the mama will suddenly flare up. I wanted the towels. Where are the towels? We will be afraid. Then we'll tell the hotel people, go and we tell mommy, mama was a bit angry. No value for his anger. Mommy knows his real value. Mama So, Bhagavan told the Devas, do not worry, you have sought asylum in me to protect you all and the lokam from the rakshasas, I will protect. So first Sharanagati is the Devas who performed Sharanagati to Bhagavan in Kshiravdi, and that was successful. Tick. Second Sharanagati. When Rama was married, prior to his marriage, he had managed to vanquish Tataka, Subahu, and drive away Maricha. Now, he had to return to Ayodhya. But Vishwamitra felt quite uneasy. He thought this little boy of 12 years has listened to me immediately and has come. I should give him something, return gift. So he got this message that there is a Dhanush Puja which is being performed in Mithila. You are well invited. Then he thought this will be a good occasion for Rama and Sita to see each other. He took Rama to Mithilopavanam, and in the outskirts, when Rama entered the dilapidated hermitage of Gautama, he gave Shapa Vimochanam to Ahalya. So Shatananda, who was the Purohita of Janaka, came running. He said, my mother has got Shapa Vimochanam, and to be extremely grateful, Paropakara Vismritirna Yujjate Managapi Apakriyatu Tatkrita Tadaiva Vismrutavara, says the Subhashitam. Gratefulness, gratitude. So to be extremely grateful to Vishwamitra, who was instrumental in bringing Rama to the ashrama, he calls Rama and gives the Purva Charitram of Vishwamitra. He narrates, you know who this Vishwamitra was? And narrates 15 chapters in Balakandam in Ramayana is dedicated to Vishwamitra. Who this Vishwamitra was? He was a king called Kaushika. He had an altercation with Vasishtha because of the cow. Then finally there were armies that came from Iran. They were called Pahlavas. That is there in the Ramayana. So Pallavas came from Persia. Kambojas came. They all fought. Finally he lost. Then he came with astras that was absorbed in the Brahmadandam of Vasishtha. Then he again went and became a rishi. Not Sudha's son-in-law. Another rishi. So then he became Maharishi, then Raja Rishi, and finally Brahma Rishi. In the due process, he went to Pushkara Kshetram, which was very close to Bhruguttunga hills. Bhruguttunga is Mount Abu. So he went near Bhruguttunga. Closer to that is a Kshetram called Pushkar. So he went to Pushkar while he was meditating. That is when one boy approached. And he said, Mama, please protect me. I asked, who are you, beta? He said, my name is Shunakshepa. I am the son of your relative Jamadagni. It is said, Ruchika. So it is said that one of the monarchs of the Ayodhya region called Ambarisha is performing a yaga where he is to do Narabali. Sir, is that allowed? That is a different vicharam. For now, let us understand the story. They wanted to do Narabali. Who will come? If you call someone, sir, I want to do Bali, if you come. Will they come? Nobody came. So finally they said, you choose some parent who voluntarily gives their son. Then they went to this Rishi. This Rishi said, Ruchika said, my eldest son I have to preserve because he has to do my Antima Karyam Antyeshti. The mother said, I will preserve the last one because he is the one who stopped the production process. So the one who was caught in between, the sandwiched person, was Shunakshepa, so he was given away. This Shunakshepa did not want to die. He wanted to watch the third season of Family Man. So he wanted to survive for that. So he went and asked Vishwamitra, sir, I wish to survive, what do I do? That is when Vishwamitra said, tomorrow, the day that has been ordained for you to be sacrificed, you will be given a ceremonial bath in turmeric waters. Because in days of the old, when you have to give Bali, you will have to do good alankaram to that vastru. It is called alankritya shiraschedam. You will give very good decoration, finally slice it. So they will give you good bath. They will take you to the Yajnavatika. They will tie you to the Upastamba. That time, I will teach you 2 Rigvedic mantras. You perform Sharanagati to Narayana and his brother Indra, whose Antaryami is Narayana, by invoking these 2 shlokas that I teach you, riks that I teach you. The next day, Shunakshepa repeated, performed Sharanagati, and towards the end of it, the ethereal voice said, you don't have to sacrifice him because of this Sharanagati. Even without his Bali, the phalam of this yaga will be obtained by you, Ambarisha. Namesti mata na pita nyatayo bandhava kutaha tratu marhasi mam saumya dharmena munipungava ime chagathe dve divye gayetha muniputraka ambarishasya yajñesmin tata siddhim avapsyasi. So second Sharanagati performed by Shunakshepa for the mantras taught by Vishwamitra to him towards Narayana and Indra fructified. So Sharanagati number 2, tick. Sharanagati number 3. Now Rama was married. So were the other brothers. Most cost-effective marriage. Well, you don't have to arrange MLR 4 times. One MLR, 4 Dampatis got married. Everybody was given the same return gift once. And they were sent home. Now all these couples from Mithila Desham had to return to Ayodhya. While they were coming to Ayodhya, they heard the Garjana of Parashurama. Parashurama had long left this region and gone towards Mahendragiri. He came with the alarm. Who is that who has the audacity to break a broken bow and prove that he is a great Kshatriya? Dasharatha thought, he may hurt my dear child Ram. So he went towards Parashurama and said, Parashurama, you should take mercy on my son, especially Rama, because both of you have the same name. At least for name's sake, you will have to protect him. He asked, it seems Janaka gave his daughter Sita in marriage to your son. Yes, Parashurama. It seems your son proved his valor by breaking Shiva Dhanush. Yes, Parashurama. But does your son even know that it had a crack earlier? Breaking a broken bow doesn't prove that he is a man of great prowess. Call that son of yours. That is when Dasharatha, look at my son. Palvadiyun, very young boy, 12 years of age, Una Shodasha Varsha. He didn't want to break Parshuramji. Udhar to wo board nahi tha, handle with care. He lifted, he aimed, it broke. So please, I surrender to you, protect my son. Don't harm my son. Balanam mama putranam abhayam tratum arhasi na chaikasmin hate rame sarve jiva mahevayam. So Dasharatha performed Sharanagati at the feet of Parashurama to get his son protected. If it had fructified, what should Parashurama have done? Chhod deta hu. Congratulations, Rama. Okay, live happily, and he should have left. He didn't do that. He said, why should you perform Sharanagati? Did you break? No. Let Rama prove his valor by lifting the bow that I have. I have a Vaishnava Dhanush. So, the Sharanagati performed by Dasharatha to Parashurama to get his son protected did not fructify. Why? If you perform Sharanagati to the wrong person, it will not work. Just because it is Sharanagati, it won't fructify. It has to be done to the correct person. Sir, Parshuram to Bhagwan Vishnu के अवतार है. आप क्या तो थोड़े बोल रहे हैं, वो तो भगवान के अवतार हैं, but he is partial avataram. See, in Bhagavan's avatārams, we distribute into two, Purna avatarams and Apurna avatārams. Rama, Krishna, Nrisimha, Vamana, they are all Purna avatarams. Yesha Narayana Shriman, Kshirar-nava-niketanaha, Nagaparyankamutsrijya, Yagato Madhurampuri. He is him. Bhagavan is Sakshat Krishna. Bhagavan is Sakshat Rama, Paramatma Swarupam. Whereas avatars like Vyasa, Rishabhanatha, Buddha, Parashurama, Balarama, they are all partial, Apurna avatarams. Apurna means it is not Sakshat Bhagavan. Bhagavan will choose one Jivatma like us and inject one extra power more than what we have in them, which will make them slightly better. If we are surf, they are surf excel. That's all. So that avataram is called Aveshyavataram or Apurnavataram. Such avatars, though they have a certain quality of the Paramatma, they are not deemed as Purnam. Such avatars are generally not propitiated. That is why you generally don't have widespread number of temples for Parashurama or Rishabhanatha or Buddha, so on. Because they will have some fallacies that can be easily won over. That is why when Rama, a Purna avataram existed, Parashurama and Aveshya avataram was easily one. Every decision of Balarama in Dwapara Yugam will be overturned by Krishna. Balarama wanted to get his sister Subhadra married to Duryodhana. That didn't happen. Nothing. Balarama's no decision will fructify. Krishna's only will reign. Because a Purna avataram will win. So the Sharanagati of them, of here of Dasharatha, was performed to an Apurna avataram called Parashurama. Hence it did not fructify. Big cross. So 2 ticks and 1 cross. 3 Sharanagatis. 4th Sharanagati, Lakshmana. In the Ayodhya Kandam, we come across Lakshmana, who was ready to serve Bhagavan. If you remember, day 2, last Sunday, when we began our lecture at about 5 o'clock, at about 5:45, I dealt with Lakshmana. I told you about Adi Sesha. He does Seshatvam to Bhagavan. So he does all possible services. So Lakshmana performed this Sharanagati. Te Sabhratus Sharanau Gadham Nipidhya Raghunandanaha Sita Muvachati Shayam Raghavam Cha Mahavratam Aham Sarvam Karishyami Jagrataha Swapataschate. My dear brother and sister-in-law, whether both of you are awake or not, I will render all possible services. That time I remember describing the word Sesha to you. You remember? So then I told that is Seshatvam. Then since Ananta is the Adi Sesha, he is called Adi Sesha. You remember? This Sharanagati of Lakshmana was done not only to Rama, but Rama who was coupled with Sita. Sabhratus Charanaugadham Nipidya Raghunandanaha Sita Muvachati Shayam, which essentially means that Narayana minus Mahalakshmi is a big zero. Brahmachari Narayana serves nobody's purpose. He is always Shriyapati. Always the one who is coupled with Sri Mahalakshmi. So the 4th Sharanagati that comes in Ayodhya Kandam, where Lakshmana has performed Sharanagati to Rama and Sita to be eternally subservient to them, is the 4th Sharanagati, successful tick mark. Next is the Sharanagati that Bharata performs. Bharata is the most interesting character of the Ramayana. Though he is not spoken of in detail in the Aranya, Kishkindha and Sundara Kandams, his role majorly comes in Ayodhya Kandam. Literally, you can call him the hero. Why? Because Bharata is the most misunderstood character of the Ramayana. Bharata was extremely devoted to Rama. But when he was told by his maternal uncle called Yudhajit and his Yudhajit and Kaikeyi's father called Ashwapati. Ashwapati was Kaikeyi's father. Ashwapati had a son called Yudhajit, who was the maternal uncle to Bharata. He came with lot of dogs to the marriage. 1,600 in number, says Ramayana. I don't know what will they do with so many dogs. So he said, take all these dogs. These are my gifts. So they have all come from Afghanistan breed dogs. So he comes with lot of jewels. Then he says, grandfather wishes to see you, Bharata. He is very learned. So he wants to discuss a lot of things with you. Aoge mere saath. Then immediately Bharata said, Aunga. Then he went with Mandavi motors. Mandavi was his wife, right? So he took Mandavi. And then he also was accompanied by Shatrughna and his Dharmapatni Shrutakirti. So they all went and stayed in Kekaya Desham for 12 years. So while they were married, they were 12. They stayed in Kekaya Desham for 12 years. When Rama's 25th year began is when he was supposed to be made the heir apparent. But he couldn't be because of Manthara. Manthara intervened. She asked Kaikeyi to ask for the boons. All this happened. There is a small point here to be made. Dasharatha, interestingly, calls his charioteer come minister called Sumantra and says, Sumantra, I wish to announce and anoint my dear son Rama as the heir apparent in Pushya Yoga in 2 days from now. Make all arrangements. Sumantra said, sir, it is too quick, sir. Thoda time dena hai Sangeet Mehendi ke liye. There should be Pattabhishekam shoot somewhere. We have to go to some other place and take photos. क्या इतने छोटे समय में कैसे कर सके? कुछ करो. Now, Sumantra left and Rama came. Dasharatha said, you'll be made the heir apparent. Rama said, I'm extremely indebted for this decision of yours, father. Thank you. And he left. I would have jumped. I would have gone to cloud 10 over and over that 9th one. He went away. Rama at that point in time intelligently asks, when our relatives are not here around us, especially Bharata, why would you want to make this coronation this fast? But you know what Dasharatha says? Ideally, he should have said, let us wait for Bharata. If not this Pushya Yoga, we'll do it in the next month. Vaishakha Masa Pushya Yoga. He said, Kintu chittam manushyanam anityam iti me matam. My dear son, fickle-minded are people's mind. So I want to get it done in his absence. So had the father truly understood the nature, the magnanimity of Bharata, he wouldn't have made such a ridiculous statement against his son. So Bharata was misunderstood by his father. Second, had his mother Kaikeyi truly known her son, she would have never ever dreamt of asking those boons to Dasharatha. But she asked. Bharata, Kaikeyi did not know the true nature of her son, but Bharata had gauged his mother very well. When he woke up in the middle of the night in Kekeya, that night when Dasharatha passed, the Atma left his material body. That night, Bharata has a dream that his father was tonsured head to toe, smeared in oil, dressed up in black clothes, pulled by iron shackles by his mother Kaikeyi and being pushed from the top of a cliff into a huge a pit filled with dung. This was his dream. Perspiring, he got up. When he got up, Shatrughna comes, Bhaiya, aapko kya hua? I'm fine, but something has happened to our father. That is when Shatrughna says, don't worry, Bhaiya. When Ram Bhaiya and Kaushalya Mata are there, nothing will happen to Ayodhya, nor anything will happen to our father. This is what Shatrughna says. You know what Bharata says? Atmakama sada chandi krodhana pragyamanini. But my self-centered, prestige-conscious, short-tempered mother is there. She will cause all the harm. So he has gauged his mother so well. His mother hasn't. So she sought those two boons from Dasharatha, asking that her son should be made the heir apparent. So father misunderstood Bharata, mother misunderstood Bharata. Now Bharata finally landed in Ayodhya, understanding from his mother's emotions and so of the after effect of what has happened to Rama and Dasharatha, he goes running into the Antappuram of Kaushalya. He falls at her feet and says, Mata, I did not know that all this would happen in Ayodhya in my absence, Mata. Kaushalya says, don't act as if you do not know what your mother has done. That shattered Bharata. You will have 2 sargas in the Ramayana. Please read. 46 different types of narakas he lists. And he says, Mata, if at all I have thought from the bottommost of my heart that my brother should languish in the forests of the Dandaka and my father should go walk the path of Asitapatravanam to Narakaloka, Mata, if I have ever thought so, let these 46 narakas come to me. He is unable to bear Kaushalya's taunt. Then he goes and sits for some time to rest. Vasishtha comes. Well, Bharata, I think you're looking very smart. Tell me, what date should I fix for your Pattabhishekam? Bharata says, you are my Acharya. Don't you know that I will ever sit in Ayodhya in Rama's absence? He runs to bring Rama back. So he walks till the other side of Ganga. On the other side is Guha, who has just now been extremely hospitable to Rama and has said a bye to him. Looking at Bharata on the other side, beautiful verses by the Tamil poet Kamban. Guha says, here comes that wretched man to kill his brother Rama. On the other hand, Bharata did not know who this hunter man was. So he asks his close confidant, Sumantra, tell me who that person is. He seems like a hunter, boatsman. Who is he? கங்கையிரு கரை உடையான் கணக்கிறந்த நாவாயான் உங்கள் குலநாதர்க்கு உயிர் துணைவன் உயிர் தோளான் வெங்கரையின் ஏறு அணையான் விற்பிடித்த வேலையினான் கற்காணா திண்மையான் கரை காணா காதலான் குஹன் என்னும் பெயருடையான். His name is Guha. He owns multiple boats here, my dear Bharata. Bharata, there is this Ganga which is flowing here. Guha knows the extent to which it flows. He knows the demarcation of this beautiful flowing river. There is a limit to on which each side the river flows. He knows of it. But there is one thing that I do not know of him. What is that, Sumantra? He loves your brother so much. I do not know to the extent to which he loves, because he loves it to such an infinite space. Karaikana Kadalan. Bharata runs towards Guha, and Guha says, Bharata, you are looking smart, but have you come to kill Rama? Bharata says, I don't mind you speaking such words because you're flogging a dead horse. I'm dead without my brother. What have you come for, Bharata? Dear Guha, my brother forgot two things while he left Ayodhya. One was me. Second was Ayodhya. I have come to submit the both of them to him. You know what Guha says? Till now I was thinking Rama was the best. Now I understand, even if 1,000 Ramas were smelted together, it can never match a single Bharata. Ayiram Ramar Ninkel Avaro Terinamma. Bharata went running towards Chitrakuta, looking at the entire army coming with the insignia of Kovidara tree. Lakshmana now gauges, this Bharata is coming to kill you. He stands atop a tree, looks far, he sees that Andhi like production, he sees a big army is marching towards you to kill Rama. Rama! Yes, Lakshmana. Get inside the ashrama. Rama said, if I was in Ayodhya, they said, get outside. If I come out, you are saying, get in. Kya ho raha hai, Lakshman? Get in. So, that is when Rama asked, what makes you say this? He said, that brother of ours called Bharata is coming to kill you. Rama said, get up, come in. Lakshmana, I now understand your intent. Let Bharata come. I will take him along to Dandakaranya. You stay, you take Ayodhya for yourself. Bhaiya! Never ever doubt the bhakti of your own brother. Bharata comes and performs Sharanagati to the feet of Rama and says, Rama, come back to Ayodhya. Santvita mamika mata dattam rajyamidam mama taddadami tavaivaham bhungshvarajyam akantakam. Return. Rama said, see, I can't do that. I have promised my father that I will go to the forest for 14 years. That is when Jabali comes. Father, Atma, you have promised your father, it seems. Your father himself is no more. People do Pinda Pradhanam on Ashtaka and Anvashtaka, saying that these Pindams will go to their forefathers. It will fill their stomachs. Bharata, all this is a false built up. If you offer pindams to your forefathers, it seems it will go to Pitrulokam. If what you offer here will fill their stomachs, then to people who travel to different countries, people in their houses can sit and eat for them. I am not saying this. All this is Jabali Vakyam in Ayodhya Kanda. It may look as if it is coming from some quarters of Gopalapuram. But this is called as a Lokayatamatam. This is called Nastikavadam. This is how they used to speak. So see, Nastikavadam, Lokayatamatam, Charuvak has always been there in this civilization. But even people who spoke of Nastikamatam had to study the Vedas. See, you had to study the Vedas to refute it. You cannot just come one day and say, oh, I don't believe in God, my wife does. You can't do that. You will have to logically prove or disprove something. So they were called Charuvaks. Remember, Nastikas were called by a word called Charuvak. People who generally come up with this theory, they'll speak really well. Apparently, you visit the temple every Friday. I see you visiting the temple every Friday and you do Abhishek and Archana towards Bhagwan. But see, your son did not fare well in academics. So do you ever think God is there and there is an effect? We will be confused when they say this because they have spoken so softly. So Nastikas will stay amidst us and confuse us in a soft way. Since their vak is soft, they were called Charuvak. So that we say Charvak. It's Charuvak. Their vak will be very... So you will get confused for a moment. Yes, I went and did Archana. My son did not do well. Your son did not do well because he didn't study. That is the truth, right? It is not because you didn't go, but that is the general method. Jabali uses this. Then towards the end of it, Bharata says, Bhaiya, you have to return. Rama says, see, this is still not Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, a person would have committed a heinous crime. You will think this man will rot in jail. He will go. He will have heart problem that time when he will be arrested. In 14 days, he will come out. This is not Kali Yuga. I'll stay for 14 years. But did Bharata's Sharanagati that Rama has to return to Ayodhya and rule fructify? Yes. But it fructified 14 years later. So, it fructified slightly delayed. So this is the 5th Sharanagati. 6th Sharanagati is when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana enter Dandakaranyam. All the rishis come and they show their bodies. Deko, body ko. It was very thin. It was a very thin, lanky body. The rishis had a very thin body. When they were suffering from thin body, they showed themselves to Rama. And Rama asked, what made you thin? Are you on some diet? What made you thin? They said, there are so many rakshasas in the forest who have been tormenting us. We have not been able to do penance, tapasya, peacefully. So please protect us. That is when Rama said, see, I am not the king of Ayodhya. It is Paduka Devi who is ruling Ayodhya. Ask Amma. We are all just from Amma's party. Without Amma's permission, we cannot speak. We carry her photo. How can you ask us what we will do? That is when Tevayam Bhavata Rakshya Bhavad Vishayavasinaha Nagarastho Vanasthova Tvam no Raja Janeshwaraha. Whether you are in the forest or you are in the city, you are our Raja, Rama, protect us. That is when rishis perform Sharanagati, which is the number 6. Very good. So this Sharanagati fructified because Rama was able to ultimately kill Viradha, Khara, Dushana, Trishiras, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Malyavan, Indrajit. So whatever they had performed at Sharanagati for, that fructified. 6th. 7th Sharanagati. This comes in Kishkindha Kandam. Rama and Lakshmana are spotted. Vikrama Namaha, Vamana Namaha. So, here we have, now it is very important whenever a yajna stops, even in your house. For example, if you're doing a havan in your house, yajnam, you're reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam, you're listening to an upanyasam. In the middle, if it stops, To resume, Shastram says you have to invoke Vamana and Trivikrama. So whenever you stop, you have to say Vamanaya Namaha, Trivikramaya Namaha, and then resume the yajna. So this is Shravana Yajna. Here, Rama and Lakshmana realize that Sita is lost. They have to retrieve her. Hanuman just then comes. If you remember yesterday, there was a conversation. Hanuman escorted Rama and Lakshmana to the very cave where Sugriva was seated. Look at Hanuman's communication skills. He never asked where is Sita because he knew. He went and whispered in the ears of Sugriva. He said, see, this is Rama, Dasharatha's son. That is Lakshmana, Rama's younger brother, also Dasharatha's son. Rama's wife has been abducted. He whispered. Ideally, Sugriva should have been sensitive. He said, same pinch, Rama. Even my wife is lost. Same situation, alva ibrugo. That is when Hanuman thought. Sophistication in language comes only for a handful, not for him. Now Lakshmana said, see, the entire world seeks asylum in Dasharatha. Dasharatha, who's revered as Chakravarti, has Rama as his eldest son. That Rama, for bringing back his wife Sita from the clutches of Ravana, does Sharanagati to you, Sugriva. So this was a Sharanagati performed by Rama through Lakshmana to Sugriva. Sita yasyasnusha chasit sharanyo dharma vatsalah tasya putra sharanyasya Sugrivam sharanam gataha sarvalokasya dharmatma sharanya sharanam pura Gururme Raghava Soyam Sugrivam Sharanam Gataha. So Rama performed Sharanagati. Remember, you have to be very careful. Rama performed Sharanagati to Sugriva. Why? So that he helps him with his army, F-35, S-400, to retrieve Sita. But did this fructify? It did and it didn't. Why? Rama held his promise true. He killed Bali and retrieved Ruma, Sugriva Patni and brought the both of them together. 4 months, Sugriva said, my Vanaras cannot go in search of Sita. It will be raining heavily. My Vanaras will get sinus. So they will not go. 4 months later, आओ हम देखेंगे. 4 months, chala bhi gaya, nahi dekh paye. That is when Rama sent Lakshmana. Lakshmana went like Adisesha, barged into the kingdom of Kishkindha. That night, Tara, Vali's wife, and Vali's younger brother Sugriva were on the same bed. So after having their December 31st night, they walked. Sapraskhalanti Madavihvalakshi Pralam. Madavihvalakshi, her eyes were filled with intoxicated eyes. Pralamba Kanchi Guna Hemasutram Salakshana. See, I'm giving that effect. That's all. Valmiki is not. Sapraskhalanti Madavihvalakshim Pralamba Kanchi Guna Hemasutram Salakshana Lakshmana Sannidhanam Jagamatara Namitangai. The moment Lakshmana comes, you know what Valmiki calls it? Lakshmana Sannidhanam. Here is a man who is coming from the same bed as his sister-in-law to another man called Lakshmana, who when was asked about the jewelry, he said, Rama, I cannot recognize Sita's jewelry. Naham janami keyure, naham janami kundale. Lakshmana, you have been living with us for so long, but you keep telling you cannot recognize Sita's jewelry. Can't you recognize even one? When Rama coaxed, Lakshmana said, I can recognize one. What is it? Anklet. Nupuretva bhijanami. Rama asked, you can't recognize the rest, only the Nupuram. How? Nityam padabhivandanad. Every morning I used to fall at Jagannatha thinking she's my mother. So the anklet alone is recognizable to me. So here is Lakshmana who treats his sister-in-law as Jagannatha, and he is meeting Sugriva who is on the same bed with his sister-in-law. Salakshana Lakshmana Sannidhanam Jagamatara Nanitangayashtihi. First Tara comes with her loosened robes. Lakshmana couldn't even see. He put his head down. Then Hanuman comes. Then Sugriva comes. Tara asks, is it right for learned people like you to get short-tempered? Kim kopamulam manujendra putra? Lakshmana felt like giving it back that you have not fulfilled your electoral promise. But how could he say that? Did you check the date, Tara? She checked her smartwatch. Oh, yes. 10,000 steps to ho gaya. Fitbit hai, abhi to dekhna padega. So Rama's Sharanagati that Sugriva should help fructified, but after a gentle reminder. So this is the what Sharanagati? Seventh Sharanagati. What is the next Sharanagati? The next Sharanagati is in Bali Vadham. This is a very intriguing topic in the Ramayana. People will always ask, you say Ram is Maryada Purushottam. He's a complete man. You say he's Raymond. So, if he's the complete man and Maryada Purushottam, why did he happen to kill? When you ask, if you have to sound really colonial and archaic, you'll have to ask with a certain tone. Right? Either it has to go extremely masters in the West, or it has to be the route, right? From the wise of the Beverly Hills, it has to be of that standard. It cannot be like the primitive man that I speak. But here, Rama asked, Sugriva, why were you excommunicated? You said you brothers were so thick. You were extremely affectionate. What made Bali to send you out of his kingdom? That is when Sugriva says, see, both Bali and me were very thick, very good brothers, friends. It apparently happened that my brother was interested in a woman who was also being sought after by another person called Mayavi. Mayavi and my brother had an altercation. They went into the cave. Suddenly we heard the cry of my brother. We thought my brother Bali was dead. If somebody manages to vanquish Bali, what will they do to us? So we covered the entrance to the cave with a huge boulder and I became the king. One day I realized my brother came back in flesh and blood. So I went and fell at his feet and said, Bhaiya, I never knew that you were living. The region is yours. The kingdom is yours. You become the king. That is when my brother mistook that I was waiting for the opportunity when he will be dead. He said, you were waiting for this opportunity, right? He asked. I said, no, Bhaiya. What did you do next? Asked Rama. I performed Sharanagati to my brother. I said, forgive me. What did your brother do? He pushed me away. Lakshmana, record. What did your brother do? He pushed me away. Did you perform Sharanagati? Yes. Did he push you away despite you performing Sharanagati? Yes. Lakshmana said, note this point down, we'll tell Abhishek Manu Singh. Because later in the court, if they argue, because as per Article 34F of Manu Shastram, if somebody performs Sharanagati and you don't accept it, then you need to be killed. So he killed Bali. This is the main reason, says Vedanta Deshika. This is Sharanagati number 8. Correct? Next Sharanagati comes in Sundara Kandam. What happens in Sundara Kandam is Sita has been tormented by Ravana. Every day he will come, please place one huge platter with beautiful chains, choker, rings, paithani, organza, rising border, ikat, with kalamkari print, everything he'll say, marry me. She says, we have better Banarasi brocades. Why will I marry you for this Pochampalli and Maratpalli? So he kept on torturing Sita. Finally, one day Ravana says, unable to withstand Sita rejecting him, he calls all the rakshasis of Ashoka Vatika and says, do whatever you want with her, she has to agree. They are all ready with cycle chain, soda bottle, 7 o'clock blade. they all want to torment Sita. That is when the leader of that entire clan called Trijata comes. And she says, move away. Serittalaivan. They all go behind. That is when they all ask, our leader has said that we have to torment her. Why do you desist from doing this? That is when Trijata says, I had a dream. Ramayana is full of dreams. So I had a dream, this in the early hours of the morning, that Rama and Sita, decked in beautiful fine plain silk with a jari, seated on an asanam gilded in gold, were walking towards the rays of the rising sun, northwards. I saw my own uncle Ravana sitting on a donkey and going southwards. So something bad is going to happen to him, while something good is going to happen to Sita. If you torment her now, then she will complain to Rama, who will make a togayal out of you. Chutney, rakshasi chutney. In Rameshwaram cafe, they'll give. So they will give. Don't do it. That is when Trijata said, perform Sharanagati to her right away if you wish to survive. What should the rakshasis have done? Maaf kar dijiye Sita ji. हमें माफ कर दीजिए, यदि राम जी जीत जाएंगे तो हम भी आपके साथ आ जाएंगे अयोध्या. They didn't open their mouth. Trijata told them perform Sharanagati, they didn't open. You know what Sita said? Trijata, if at all your dream turns true that Rama wins Ravana, I give Abhaya Pradhanam, nothing will happen to these rakshasis, I will protect them. This becomes a great point of debate amongst acharyas. They say that Rama wanted people to perform Sharanagati. Sita didn't even want that. Even without that, she blessed him. Ardra paradastvaya. That is Sita's greatness. So Sharanagati number 8. 9. Next Sharanagati is even more interesting. This is narrated in Sundarakandam, but this incident happened in Ayodhya Kandam. What is that? See, Hanuman has met up with Sita. First of all, he doesn't know how to find Sita. How will he find Sita? Is she written? Air hostess, J. Veena. We say, Veena, can I have a glass of water? Towards the end of the flight, they bring. So, is this the same? How will he address? Sita doesn't keep telling, I'm Sita, Sita. Does she say? How did he find Sita? Beautiful line by Valmiki. Tarkayamasa Siteti. Through logical reasoning, he found this is Sita. What is logical reasoning? 1. If Sita had been happily sleeping in beautiful organza, imagine she's very well, she's enjoying, then that could not be Sita. If Rama Patni Sita is there, she will be thinking of him, she will be having sleepless nights. 1. Hanuman has seen the jewelry that was thrown at them in Kishkindha, and none of it should be on her body now. See, you can wear at most only one choker. Alia has only one. Correct, one choker only. So if she has thrown that choker should be missing. She cannot come to Lanka and shop for one. Yeah, Lanka jewelers. So whatever jewelry was thrown was not on her. 2nd. 3rd, he has observed the Hamsa motif found on the sari border in her. Because a part of that pallu was thrown, right? That motif is visible on her. Taddakulanka murtau. This is called observation skill. Certain people have that. You ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ ನಾವು ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ನಿಂತ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ವೈಲೆಟ್ ಟು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. We will go like Parabrahman will say. அப்படியா யாராவது நின்னுட்டு இருந்தாளா? So here he knows exactly, that is observation. Hanuman has observed and he sees that in Sita. Very good. He concludes. Now how will he approach her? Imagine, see, these are all nuances. I'm just continuing Hanuman's greatness. If you give me an opportunity, I'll continue about him for more. He has to go and speak to Sita. Mata Sita, he has to speak in Sanskritam. For Sita, she will get a minor attack. Imagine some animal coming and talking to you in front of you in Sanskritam. She will get an attack. How will he even convey? That is the greatness of Hanuman. He never ever introduced himself and spoke to her. He narrated the Ramayanam from the top. So for her, it was as if she was listening to 93.4 FM. Saguna Brahma Parat Pararam. Sita searches. Where is this Nama Ramayanam coming from? Kalatmaka Parameshwara Ram. She looks left and right. Finally, she gets to understand this is Hanuman. Then that question of how a Vanara could speak Sanskritam doesn't come. Because she's already enjoying and engrossed in Ramanamam. Hanuman's every dealing has been intelligent. Now he meets up with her, gives that ring. Grihitva prekshamanasa bhartukkara vibhushanam bhartaramiva samprapta. Fine, that is over. Then he's intelligent. He says, Mata, like how you asked for an insignia, an abhijnanam, Rama too will ask, do you have something? Then she had preserved her gem-studded hair clip. So she gave that Pondi Bazaar hair clip to him. Leke jao. Again, there is a point. Rama would be confused because for Rama, he knew very well Hanuman was never used to the female gender, boys only school. He could have met some Gita mommy and come instead of Sita mommy. So how will he check? That is why Hanuman says, tell me one incident that is known only to you and Rama and not known to anybody else. That is when Sita narrates Kakasura Vrittantam in Sundarakandam. She says, one afternoon, after Lakshmana had made lavish food for us, nachos, cheese dip. So, exquisite food, we all had a great siesta. See, I'm sure working people, however hard you work, after that lunch, that first half an hour will be a great struggle. In school days, generally they will keep history class during that period. So, here, food was served to Rama and Sita, but generally, corporate world, we don't call it sleep, we call it power nap. Jagadrakshana Chinta. You're worried how to protect this entire world. So Sita was resting, so was Rama. Rama put his head on Sita's lap. Sita was resting by the trunk of the tree, and they were resting in the afternoon. Lakshmana, he had no choice. He had to make arrangements for the next meal. Fully cooking, mopping. He was engaged. As Rama was resting, a crow that was extremely avaricious to taste the tender flesh of Sita tried coming towards her. All this is there in Sundarakandam, check. She uses small pebbles to throw at the crow. The crow isn't deterred. Finally, the crow comes and pricks a part of Sita's flesh and takes it away. Blood oozes. Her upper garment is fully drenched in blood, soaked in blood. Because of that unbearable pain, she trembles. Rama senses that there is a 4.5 Richter scale small earthquake. He wakes up. He sees Sita. Sita is drenched in blood. He doesn't ask a second question. He looks at the top, at the branch, and he sees the bird. He connects both of them. That is called logic. See, I grew up under the love of my maternal grandparents. My grandfather was extremely loving towards me, very caring about me. But in our household, if I fall, I get hurt somewhere, I will get a beating for that. ஏன் விழுந்தேன்னு அடிப்பா விழுந்ததே தேவையில்லைங்கிற மாதிரி எதுக்கு விழுந்தேன். So here Rama did not ask a single question. Sita, my beloved wife, I just can't see you soaked in blood. How did this really happen? She's already in pain. What will she answer? Immediately, Kshatriya Buddhi, he connected the bird whose beaks and mandibles were dripping with blood with Sita's bosom. Simple. Then ideally, what will be step 2? Now he knows who is the cause, what is the effect. Second, he has to, as a Kshatriya, protect his wife. So he should ideally ask, Lakshman, ekko. Mere bow or arrow ko leke aana. By the time he comes, the bird will go to Tasmania. That is when chapter 4 of Dhanurvidya comes into picture. For a person who is bereft of astrams next to him, he can convert any object into an astram. It is called the art Aishikam. Aishikam in Dhanurvidya means converting any object you see around into a weapon. Who mastered this? Indian parliamentarians. Anything that they get will become an astram. Mic, book. So, what did Rama do? He took a blade of grass, uttered the Brahmastra mantram and made that into an astram. In colloquial Tamil, it is said, Vallavanukku Pullum Ayudham. For the adept one, talented one, even a blade of grass is an astram. Every saying in the Tamil language will have a Ramayana connection or a Mahabharata connection. Arudun savu, Noorodu savu. Even if you are meant to die, even if you are a part of the 100 Kauravas, you will die. Even if you are a part of the Pancha Pandavas and Karna, you will die. Arudan savu, Noorodum savu. Kura yeri koli pidikadavan vanam yeri Vaikuntham povana. There also Vaikuntham has to come. Every proverb in all our languages will be soaked in Sanatana Dharma. So here, that astram was released. This astram was programmed to go behind the crow. Now remember, this Sharanagati of the crow that it is going to do, prior to which the crow went to different places, this episode has been commented for 40 pages by a great commentator called Periyavachan Pillai. 40 pages just on this. This bird went and knocked the door of his father. Who is his father? Indra. It said, Papa, mujhe bachao. Astram is coming. Indra did not answer. Wow. How did you do this? Kaka, he said. Now you may wonder, why I am not using his original name? Jayanta, correct? Remember, Vedanta Deshika says in Stotra Ratna Bhashyam, na ayamapi Jayantaha. This is not Jayanta. So he says, crow went and knocked his father's door, Indra, and said, Indra, protect me, my dear Papa. Indra refused to answer. Then the son said, have I done something that you have not done? You have also got 4-5 FIRs against you. First is Ahalya. मैं आप ही के जैसा हूं, रक्षा करना आप ही की बनती है, मुझे रक्षा करना पप्पा. That is when Indra said, even while committing crime, you should make note whose relative they are. This is Rama Patni Sita. I don't wish to lose my power and position. I was initially told 2.5 years, but now for 5 years I won't get. So I don't wish to lose this any further. I'm just telling you from Ramayanam. Enti Ramayya idi. So that astram went behind and father disowned his son. Then he went to his mother Shachi Devi's Sannidhanam. He knocked at Shachi Devi's door. Mama, Raksha Karna. She said, see, I can't protect you, my son, because you have offended Jagannmata. And Jagannmata, Bhuma Devi, Parvati, Saraswati, we are all in the same WhatsApp group. If I protect you, then they will block me. I can't do anything. Then he went towards rishis. Rishi log, mere raksha karna, because all rishis towards the end of their Yajna karma, even in most of the households, you will have the habit of keeping some morsel of food for the crows because they are representative of our forefathers. So rishis protect me. Rishis said, कुछ नहीं बनता. अभी अभी हमने शरणागति किया भगवान राम से. पता है 610 we did Sharanagati. We cannot protect it. Then this crow went towards the birds association. Yanga Sadi karanga sir. Yanga Sadi uduama nanga. They went to Sadi. So they went, birds! Hamare caste ko aisa ho gaya, abhi hum kya kare? Then the office bearer said, let the president come. Garuda was the president. He said, just because you belong to our caste, we will not protect you. If you are a criminal, you need to be punished. Don't go under the garb of being a certain caste. If you have committed a crime, crime is a crime. Sapitra cha parityaktaha sarvaischa paramarshibihi treen lokan samparikramya. He went to all the world seeking asylum. Tameva sharanam gataha. Finally, he came and fell at the feet of Rama. Who sent that astram? See, Ravana only abducted Sita. He didn't do anything more. He lost his life. This bird has physically assaulted Sita. But nothing happened to him. Acharyas ask how? Because during Ravana Vadham, Sita was not next to Rama. Had she been on the same chariot as Rama, she wouldn't have let Rama kill Ravana. Here, despite having physically assaulted Sita, Sita was next to Rama. She said, Maaf kar. Small mistake. I will put TT. Something I'll put. That is when Rama said, if a person has committed a mistake, some punishment has to be given. What punishment will you give, Rama? One of its eyes was taken. That is why it is a belief in the Samskrita Sahityam, literature, that crows possess only one eye. It is a belief. Now don't tell me, no sir, I know ornithology. They have got two eyes. It's a belief. That is why we call it Kakakshi Golaka Nyayam. There are two sockets and one eye. That is why the crow never looks at you like this. It will either look like this or like this. It is believed that the eye keeps changing the sockets. It's called Kakakshi Golaka Nyayam. Yettishayum Uranrodi Ilaithu Vizhum Kagam Pol, says Vedanta Deshika. Periyalvar. Incidentally, today is the Janma Nakshatram of Andal's foster father, Ani Swati. So he says in Periyalvar Tirumozhi, Chittiraguda Tiruppa Shirukakkai Mulai Tinda. Anaithulagum Tirindodi Vittagane Ramavo Ninnabhayam Yendraழைப்ப Attirame Adan Kannai Aruttadum Vor Adayalam. So that Sharanagati of the Kaka was successful. Successful why? He had to be killed. Finally, he was saved. This is Sharanagati number 10. Now comes the master of all Sharanagatis called Vibhishana Sharanagati. See, Hanuman had burnt the entire Lanka. There was a big round table conference. Ravana chaired that conference. All of them were called and Ravana said, please tell me, what should I do now? All the missiles have burnt our air bases. What should we do now? It is 3 a.m. Should we call the DGMO or Trump? It was burned. Vibhishana said, you are asking this question, what should I do now? You should have asked this before abducting Sita. Before abducting, you should have asked whether you take unilateral decisions. Finally, when after all these aftermath, then you ask, what should I do? Even now, Ravana, you have the opportunity. You say, by mistake we abducted. कुछ और लेना था. By mistake हमने सीता जी को अपहरण कर लिया. So you send Sita back with one gift wrapper, Ceylon tea. 2-3 packets you send. You say, maaf kar do Ram. We will also join your party. What bro? We will also join your party. Ravana, egoistic person. He said, nothing do. I cannot. This is when Vibhishana said, Ravana, you are doing adharma. I am advising you to follow the path of dharma. But despite your own biological brother advising, if you are not heeding to this advice, it's a beautiful statement in Yuddha Kandam. Vibhishana says, when it is the time for one's bad destiny, the same advice given by your own well-wishers will never reach your ears. People who are very good well-wishers of yours will tell you, you will never listen. Later you will repent. Later you will repent. By the time a lot of water would have flown under the bridge. Ravana, I have advised you. Hitopadesham I have done. Despite me telling, if you are not giving back Sita, I cannot stand in Lanka for a second more. Because if I am witness to what you are doing without questioning you, that means I am a partaker of that adharma. See, this is what that differentiates Vibhishana from Bhishma. In the Sabha Parva of Mahabharatam, when that lady said, please help me, Bhishma, Bhishma should have stood and guillotined Duryodhana that very second. We would have not got Bhagavad Gita. No Vishnu Sahasranamam. By then Sabha Parva itself over the end. Vanakkam, Shubham, we would have finished. But that Bhishmacharya, great Upasaka of Bhagavan through Shalagrama Tirumeni, said, I am doubtful as per section 54. What Duryodhana says is also alright, Draupadi. When that lady was suffering, he gave all legal clauses. That is why Bhagavan pushed Bhishma to the bed of arrows, drained every drop of blood from him, and then only accepted Vishnu Sahasranam. Because he was witness to adharma. Whereas in the Ramayana, Vibhishana refused to be the witness to adharma, and he said, I will leave Lanka. When he left Lanka, 4 rakshasas said, your ideology suits us. And they too joined. Vibhishana Kalagam. VK. So they all left Lanka and came towards Bharata Desha. They said, I think CAA has been implemented. Right. They came towards the boundary of Bharatam. That is where Sugriva and the other Vanaras and Rama and Lakshmana had come and established their tents. So Vibhishana goes and says, Ravanaha Rakshaseshwaraha Tasyaham Anujo Bhrata Vibhishana iti Shrutaha. These Vanaras, they immediately went and informed Sugriva, somebody is coming from Lanka. That is when they all stood with boulders and stones. Sugriva comes and asks, Swami, why so much of noise here? Who has come? That is when they say, it seems Ravana's younger brother has come. Then Sugriva goes and asks, why have you come? Raghavam Sharanam Gataha. I have come seeking asylum in Rama. Why? My brother is doing a lot of crimes. I don't wish to partake that crimes. I wish to surrender to Rama. Stay there, says Sugriva, and goes into the tent of Rama. He says, Rama, yes, Sugriva, that man has come. Ravana. No, his younger brother Vibhishana. Oh, okay, what did he say? Sugriva said, he has come seeking asylum in you, it seems. Is it? Is this what Vibhishana said? And what did you tell Sugriva? I told him, wait. Oh, what was Rama's intent? Asks the Acharya. Even if Ravana had come, he would have forgiven him, it seems. So Vibhishana has come. What is then? See, Rama is now in coalition. He has to ask his partners. So he asked Vibhishana, Vibhishana, what is your thought? Should I accept Sugriva? Should we accept Vibhishana? Sugriva said, a man who has abandoned his brother and come seeking asylum to you, should we accept him? Rama said, Sugriva, come again. This man left Bali and came. He is now pointing fingers to Vibhishana. But Rama never made his intent open. Say it, come again. Hanuman in one corner was seated like this. What a poor person we have left before Paramatma. Rama listened patiently. To what? Sugriva's. Sugriva, you have a point. See, this is the easiest way I generally recommend or suggest astikas like you in your house or in schools or in colleges or in your professional front. You will come across certain people who know only to ask questions. Prashna Chakravarti. How do you manage them? How to deal with them? Whenever a person asks you a question, tell them your question is very good. You'll keep quiet and sit down. You should always praise the person's question. That question will be worth nothing. Even then, praise that question. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ವೈಶಂಪಾಯನ ಹತ್ರ ಜನಮೇಜಯ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಮಗೆ. Some waste question it will be. So here Rama appreciates. He says, Sugriva, you have a point. What a great thought you have. Sugriva was immediately in smiles. No teacher has praised him. So he sat. Then he asked Angada, Bali's son, Angad, tum bolo. Angada said, Rama, I have a doubt on this man. That is Vibhishana. Parikshartham, we have to keep one entrance exam for him. 40 questions, negative marking. Rama said, Theek hai, Angad tum baitho. Now next, Jambavan, you are the oldest, you tell. Rama, I believe from my wide experience, vast experience, this man has come to divide and rule us. Okay, thank you, Jambavan, you sit. Hanuman, you are the only foreign returned individual here. Come here. How? Borrow, Hanumanta. Hanuman, you say. Hanuman said, Swami, you have given me an opportunity. Look at Hanuman's Vinayam. That is what makes him class. You have given me a golden opportunity to speak. I do not know if I am worthy of it. Shakuneriva Bhashitam. All great educated people have spoken before me. Sugriva and Jambava. Number 8th standard pass, I am 10th standard fail. Educated. This is how Hanuman will praise, overpraise. You should not fall for him. He is a very good speaker. All educated people have expressed their opinion. You have given me an opportunity to speak. Can I? Rama said, speak. Rama, with my first-hand experience of having been to Lanka and having heard Vibhishana speaking in the middle of Ravana Sabha, I can vouch that Vibhishana is a good man. He has to be given asylum. The others, that's all. Half an hour they have been fighting not to give asylum to him. Finally comes Hanuman's statement. So they said, Rama was very intelligent. In corporate world, when there is a brainstorming session, you, however good or bad or impossible the ideas are, you should let people express. You know what Rama said? See, from all the opinions that you've expressed, Sugriva comes from one school of thought where he says that Vibhishana is bad. He should not be given asylum. On the other hand is the other school from which Hanuman comes, who says that Vibhishana is good. He has to be given asylum. I will borrow the best of both the worlds. Even if Vibhishana is bad, I will give him asylum. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyaha dadam ye tadvratam mama. So Vibhishana, his Sharanagati was accepted, and till date all our Purvacharyas call Vibhishana Sharanagati as the tiara in the rigmarole of Sharanagatis that were performed in the Ramayanam. After this, is there a Sharanagati? Yes. Vibhishana said, can your Vanara swim? They said, no sir, they have not learned swimming. Do we have enough number of boats? Amazon had no stock. So how will we take them? That is when Vibhishana said there is an oceanic ridge, which is an inflamed oceanic bed that connects Bharata Desham with Lanka, just that it has been submerged in the waters. So if we manage to construct a bridge over the existing ridge, we can take all these Padbhyam Yantuf Plavangama, we can take all these Vanaras by that bridge. What should I do? Asked Rama. Get the clearance of eco tribunal, because waterways and eco-ways have to clear, because tomorrow if you construct the bridge, immediately there will be a dharna by Meda. She will say fishes are being killed and there will be a stay order. So you get permission from waterways. Nitin. So for waterways, what should I do? He said you have to do prayopavesham, fasting unto death. Shastram says you can never blackmail Paramatma with fasting. See, you cannot fast the day you want. Sir, ivattu prathame nan tumba eno chennagilla otte, so na fasting madbirtini. No, fasting, if at all you do, should be done only on Ekadashi. Harivasaram is the agreed upon Ekadashi brother. The days you like, you cannot fast. That is another concept, intermittent fasting. 3 days you won't eat, 4th day you will eat for the 3 days. So now Rama had to do prayopavesham, but Shastram says you cannot fast like this for 3 days. So as per Dharmakuta, a great commentary on the Ramayana, it is a small error on Rama. He did that prayopavesham. True fasting, I am telling you, that is why for 3 days he did not go behind the screen, have a Musambi juice and come. True fasting. He reclined on the bed of Darbha grass for 3 days, he didn't move. Because it was mentioned in the Ministry of Waterways website, 3 days was the sanctioning period. That Samudra Raja did not come. Rama got angry. He said 3 days have gone by. For Rama in his life it is like that. Vanaras had to help, they didn't come at the end of 4 months. For him it is like that. Krishna, before the deadline they'll come. That is his karma. Now, Rama got angry and he said, Saumitre, you son of Sumitra, the obedient one, go fetch my bow and the quiver of arrows. By then Samudra Raja came. He said, Pahimam, Rama. For meeting you for the first time, I thought I could collect some of the exquisite gems, the blemishless ones from the oceanic bed, string them together as beautiful malas and present them to you. By the time I could give you a beautiful gift, you seem to show so much anger on me. Rama said, who told you I'm angry at you? Lakshmana, Bhaiya, you are angry at him? No, Samudra Raja, I knew you would come. And I wanted to ask you if you have people who trouble you so that I can shoot the arrow at them. Tyagaraja looks at this, Rama. I thought this attitude was with Krishna. It is with you as well. Hare Ramachandra Raghukulesha Mrudu Subhasha Sesha Shayana Paranari Zoda Raja Viraja Duraka Raja Rajanuda Niramaya Parana Sarasi Samaya Nikita Gumatalaadene Sadhinchane O Manasa Sadhinchane. So Rama now says, what should I do? Samudra Raja said, you construct. Use Nala as the project manager, architect, Neela as the executor, all the Vanaras as the coding engineers. Now they had to throw rocks. Ramanathapuram is the name of the district. If you know the Tamil Nadu map, it is called Ramanathapuram. It doesn't have any rocks today because all of it was used for bridge construction. Now there is a beautiful Pasuram. Pasuram, henge ನಾವು ದೇವರನಾಮ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಸರು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ, హెంగే తెలుగు భాషలో ఎలాగా క్షేత్రయ్య రచించిన పదాలు జావళి ఉన్నాయో ఆ రీతిగా తమిళ్లో ఉన్న ఆ సాహిత్యం అది పేరు పాసురం. సో పాసురంను చొల్లుம்போது there is one beautiful occasion. Valmiki Ramayanam, the commentaries to Valmiki Ramayanam, Kalidasa's Raghuvamsham, the detailing of Ramayana in the Puranas like Bhagavatam, Vishnu Puranam, others, Bhavabhutis, Uttara Ramacharitra, Mahavira Vaibhavam, Bhasa's plays, none of them talk about squirrels assisting the bridge construction. None of them. But we have heard this famous thing, Indian squirrels have 3 lines, Rama gave those 3 lines. Somebody asked, why you say Indian squirrels? See, when I go to the US, I see the US squirrels. They are this big. So they are too big. Anything in the US is big. Starbucks first cup itself is called tall. There is no Vamana Avataram. Beginning with Trivikrama Avataram. So, surely not that squirrel. See, we should not get panic from squirrels. Squirrels should be panic from us. US squirrels, they will cause the fear in us. None of these acharyas talk about squirrels. But my great acharya, Tondaradi Pudiyalva. If you wish to call your grandson by a unique name, useful name, call him Tondaradi Pudi. No sir, namge Samskritadalli heli. Bhaktangri Renu. Bhaktangri Renu means Tondar Adi Podi. Bhakta Angri Renu. So Tondaradi Podiyalvan in his beautiful compendium called Thirumalai says, this is in Tamil. I told you in my lectures, all languages will come. Some of them write, sir, you just give it in English. Completely in English. It is very tough to translate these Tamil lines. I am telling you seriously. It is better I recite those Tamil lines. Kurangugal malayai nukka kulittu taam purandu ittu odi tadanganir adakkalutra salamila anilum polen. It's Tondaradi Pudiyalva's Pasuram. To this Pasuram, 1000 years back, a commentator, famed one called Periyavachan Pillai comments. You should just enjoy that commentary. You will realize what rich sampradayam Ramanuja has given. Kurangugal malayai nukka. Look at this description. It seems there was a big boulder. All the Vanaras had vowed to assist Rama. They wanted to do Rama Kainkaryam, servitude. But there was one big rock. This rock could be carried by 2 Vanaras. But 15 Vanaras went to carry one rock. Why? See, at least during my school days, I remember, it used to be a moment of pride when the teacher would say, Dushyanth, go get the books from the staff room. It was a big moment. It is bigger than Oscar. Teacher is telling, go get the books. We will run. Then 4 others will join. And we will also go, man, for 4 books. 5 of us will go. It will barely be 800 grams. You know, I used to take those 4 books. Then 4 of them have come. They will touch me. They will not touch the books. That is, they are a part of the teacher's command, it seems. So I will be carrying the books. The 4 of them will be touching me. Similarly, Periyavachan Pillai says, the rock was carried by 2 monkeys. The rest of them touched them. Kurangugal malayai nukka. Those boulders, large stones were thrown on the ridge. Boulder after boulder after boulder, large rocks. Between the rocks, there was crevices. It had to be cemented. When there was no Ambuja and Birla, who will do that? Who will do that gap filling? That is when the squirrels came. There was a leader of squirrels. He came. Squirrel party. So the entire squirrel party came and said, Rama, we will assist. Rama said, "Theek hai, kar lo." So all these squirrels were extremely orthodox. They went and bathed in the oceanic waters. With the wet, drenched body, they would come back to the shores, roll themselves on the fine sand. All the sand will be absorbed into their hairs. They will go and stand between the rocks and shake their body, and all the sand used to cement it seems. Kurangugal malayai nukka kulittu taam purandu ittu odi tadanganir adakkalutra salamila anilum pode. So anil in Tamil. Kannadadalli ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? Anilu. Anilu. Ali. Okay. In Tamil it is called anil. I will not say this language came from that language. Different languages, beautifully they are influenced. This is anil. In Tamil it is called anil. Alvar calls it anil. What did anil do? Sevai. Servitude. That is why that brand itself is called Anil Sevai. விஷயம் தெரிஞ்சவா தான் வச்சிருக்கா. So now these squirrels assisted. See, this is where my hero, who is my hero? Vedanta Deshika. He tells one thing very unique. He says, if you decide to live with certain principles in your life, truly you're very extremely honest towards these principles, the world will conspire to make that successful for you. This is what Paulo Coelho tells in The Alchemist. Right? You decide to live by certain principles, the world will be very supportive of it. Rama decided to be Dharmo Vigrahavan, an embodiment of Dharma. One of the very many Dharmas is Achara Dharma. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅವ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಆಚಾರಾರಿ, ತಮಿಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ ಅನ್ನುಲ್ವೋ. In Hindi, achar is different. That is pickle. This is achar. That is achar. This achar, what is achar? That is hygiene plus plus. Acharam is not hygiene. Acharam is hygiene plus plus. It is not about what food you eat. It is about who made it and how they have made it. That is acharam. Right? You order on Swiggy, hygienic food. But it may so happen, not Swiggy or Zomato, anything. If he is hungry, the person who is carrying it, he may be hungry, he may eat and give the rest to you. It's called Bhagavata Uchishtam. Nanna jaatute nanna irukku sir, neenga baaki saatrumbodhu acid mari ulla vaanga vendidha. So that is acharam. In acharam, one of the very many rules, see, if you get into acharam, that is a ocean. You will end up not eating anything in your life. Because it says you should not boil milk the second time. One of the rules of acharam is you should not boil milk for the second time. You cannot consume water that is stored in a vessel for more than 24 hours, barring the exception Ganga water. No other water can be in a container for more than 24 hours. Whatever food you have cooked, you should eat it less than 3 hours. By the time you feel, we have February 2023 chutney in the fridge. 3 hours, what will we do? So acharam is a different ball game. Leave that. One of the very many rules of acharam is, whatever food you have, you should use hands. We may not like Mamdani, New York, Mayor Post, but he had with his hands, correct? We'll not notice. So you should eat with your hands. So what is not allowed? Food directly going into the mouth is not allowed. Cone ice cream is anacharam. Nakaron, yeah. That is because it is said in Shastram that animals will eat directly from their mouth. If you have realized acharam, you should use your hands and use the hand to feed that in. That is the basic. I am not commenting. This is what is acharam. You have to use your hands. So cone ice cream is anacharam. Cup ice cream, acharam. You can use spoon. See? You got the point. Now, even amongst animals, there are a few exceptions that use hands. One is elephant. Elephant uses an extra projection of its called the trunk. In Tamil, it is called tumbikai. And that fills the food in. So Rama is acharam because he uses hands. He walks like the gait of an elephant. Matta matangagaminam. No other animal is compared. Rama is compared to an elephant, which is also acharam. This elephant gait possessing Rama was assisted by the Vanaras. How do Vanaras eat? Hands. Have you noticed? They don't eat food directly like cats and dogs. They will use their hands. Who assisted the Vanaras? Squirrels. What do they eat with? Hands. So if you aspire to be an Achara Sheela, even the animals will remain Acharam, says Vedanta Deshika. Setupatha Sima Simantita Samudra. So Rama did Sharanagati towards Samudra Raja. Did that fructify? No. How do we know? Because Samudra Raja came only after Rama got angry. Why didn't it fructify? Because Rama did it for the right cause, but to the wrong person, like how Dasharatha did it too. Very good. So these are the Sharanagatis in the Ramayana. Now, Sita was in Mithila. Rama had gone along with Vishwamitra and Lakshmana. Vishwamitra went away. In some of the couples, the man will not even be bothered about whether she's coming or not. Oh, where is my mommy? Mommy 2 kilometers away. In our yatra, we take about 100 plus, 200 plus people. Many of them will come as couples. We will be some organizers and volunteers. Towards the end, we have to see if everybody has gone. That mommy will walk slowly. Then we'll say, Mama, enga? Enni kuda irundhirukka. She'll be internally happy that she's away from him. That is a different thing. Loka sangrahamevapi, she'll at least say something. Now, Vishwamitra left the scene, so did Lakshmana. Rama walked into a thin street. A thin street of Mithila, which was deserted most of the times. As he was walking by the street, he saw a low-hanging balcony. He suddenly noticed the increasing sound of the bells that were attached to a beautiful anklet. He heard the voice that said, Sita, the kandukam, the ball is going away, can you pick it up for me? Sita, with the sound of the anklets, came running towards the end of the balcony and lifted the ball. She, who was quite acquainted with the street, thought for a moment that somebody is passing by the street, and she looked down. Rama, who was walking by that street for such a long time, thought this was wearing a deserted look, thought for a moment that somebody is looking at me, and he looked at the top. While they were looking at each other, they were not cognizant of the fact that the Tamil poet Kamban was looking at them. Ennalum nalathinai inayal ninjoli kannodu kanninai kavvi ஒன்றை ஒன்று உண்ணவும் நிலை பெறாது உணர்வும் ஒன்றிட அண்ணரும் நோக்கினார் அவரும் நோக்கினாள் மருங்கிலா நங்கையும் வசையில் ஐயனும் ஒன்றை ஒன்று உணர்வெனாயினார் கருங்கடல் பள்ளியில் கலவி நீங்கி போய் பிரிந்தவர் கூடினால் பேசல் வேண்டுமோ. They were just looking at each other. It's a beautiful moment captured by Kamban. Valmiki doesn't say they met. In Valmiki's Ramayana, 100% assisted marriage. They didn't even have the time to move with each other. That courtship period and all was not there. Let's meet with barista or the coffee day with a beautiful heart over it and some cinnamon powder to go at the top. And let's talk. That didn't happen in Valmiki Ramayana. But Kamban wanted to give that Shringara touch. Without this, what value will Ramayana be? Both have to look at each other. Now, Kamban has a deeper meaning to it. See, most of the arranged or assisted marriages, if things don't go the way that parents want it to be, or even the couples want it to be, there will be a pertinent question that will be asked. In each of your languages, you can translate. Telugu varu, you can translate. Anuvadam cheyandi. Alaga, Kannadavaru anuvada madbodu. Jadagam paatudani panne. They will ask, if things don't get, you looked at the Jatakam, right? Technically, in Valmiki Ramayanam, there is no mention of this Jatakam matching there. Giving that Jatakam, yaradu disa bit. Keltini, yeshtu matching ide, yeshtu points kodabodu anta nan keltini, gotte. That all did not happen in Valmiki Ramayana. He lifted the bow. For him, big shock. For breaking the bow, he had to marry. There was no looking into Jatakam. But this question of Jatakam will come only when there are certain laws in the life which we would have not anticipated. Rama had to become the heir apparent, natural. But he was sent to the forest for 14 years, unexpected. In the 14 years, he had to return. 14th year, she was abducted. When she was brought back 2 years later, sent back to the forest again during the first trimester. Lots of laws. So people will go ask Valmiki, they will ask Janak, apni kundli to dekha na? That is why Kamban answers this in the Tamil language. Why? Because in Jyotishya Shastram it is said, if it's an arranged or an assisted marriages, look at the Jatakam. But there will be some rare occasions where the girl will like the boy will like the girl's side will like the boy's side side will like the girl's side will like the boy's side will like the girl. 6 combinations, NCR, 3C2. In arranged marriage, all the 6 have to match. Everything goes well. Both of them are earning well. Their courtship is also successful. Everything is well. When they look at the Jatakam, there is a mismatch. What to do? Everything goes well. Jatakam doesn't match. What to do? There is a great Maharshi called Apastamba Maharshi. He has said in his Dharma Sutras, in case the Jatakam doesn't match, when everything is fine, then bring the boy and the prospect girl together. If their eyes can communicate, then don't worry about the Jatakam mismatch, because the greatest of the communication happens with eyes. See, we often think communication means oral. Oral communication is a adhama communication, a very inferior communication. You will communicate through your words only when your gestures have failed. See, imagine there is a beautiful exhibition down. Did you see that? Imagine the couple have discussed that towards the end of the lecture, we have to go to that exhibition. I saw 2 stalls were placed there. Now, what will be the gesture? At about 7:10, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಮೆತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವರು ದುಷ್ಯಂತ್ ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ನಾನು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. That is the understanding. But if the man is not smart or he's like me, so adhama communication will happen only when your gestures are not decipherable. Greatest communication will happen through eyes. Avratra helda that ma'am say. He should get the idea. When Rama and Lakshmana met, they didn't utter a word. Marungila nangayum vasayil ayyanum ஒன்றை ஒன்று. They didn't speak. கருங்கடல் பள்ளியில் கலவி நீங்கி போய் பிரிந்தவர் கூடினால் பேசல் வேண்டும். Do they even have to speak? The greatest of the communication happens through eyes. So அன்னரும் நோக்கினான் அவரும் நோக்கினாள் means when their eyes have matched, don't even doubt about their jatakams. Even if they have mismatched, it doesn't matter. So rishis have said, they are so liberal. We talk about woke flicks, Wokeshwara, liberal, right? Our rishis were the most liberal people. They wanted people to, if something doesn't match, look at their eyes. They always wanted things to click. They will always give alternate solutions. Oh, Ekadashina, Nirjala irbeku sir, metformin sir belage, Yang sir, ಡೈಪಟಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಓಕೆ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್. ಸರ್ ಬರೀ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಹಸು ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಡ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬರೀ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಚಟ್ನಿ ಜೊತೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬರೀ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಚಟ್ನಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಸರಿ ಜೊತೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸರ್ ಕೇಸರಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ತಿಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಊಟನೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅವರ್ ರಿಷೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ವೆರಿ ಲಿಬರಲ್. There was a great poet called Arunachala Kavi. If you are all Carnatic musicians, you would have learned. Karulavum shirulavum ithilayil kanni madam tanir munne nindravar yaro ivar yaro enna pero. Now Sita, who was engaged to Rama, she was brought to the sabha. I will read the Vivaha Patrika Churnika. It's a beautiful Churnika that describes how that mandapam was. Atha janaka nripatir manoratha maharnava parangatva paramananda jaladhauni magnaha jagat chakshuhu kulabhushanasya jagatraya samrakshana dikshitasya nata janakalpataro shri kodanda diksha guroho vivaha mahotsavaya क्षितिरथ वरपूरित मनोरथ भगीरथ वंशजातम अतिरथ महारथ पृथ्वीपति वंदितम दशरथ महाराजम Rathat Gaja Turagapadadi Sahitam Samantri Purohitam Saputra Kalatram Saparivaраmanaya Satkritya Nana Vidhakramuka Nalikera Rambadi Phalayukta Sahasrashata Kumbastamba Bhushite Jambhari Chirakanshite Paripurna Manorata Parapramoda Paura Bhakta Jana Parasprita Krita Sallape Kirita Kavacha Kundala Keyura Nupura Muktahara Vibhushita Nana Vida Mrudula Chitra Sanastha Nana Deshagata Rajavarya Brinde Lochana Nande Nana Vidaswarna Pushpastabhaka Koti De Deepya Malaya Chandana Guru Gugulu Gogritadi Parimalavastu Gumu Gumayamana Sabhantare Nirantara Manikachita Mukura Parampare Veena Veno Muramadduka Dindima Damaruga Janjari Jallari Dhavala Panaka Shanaka Shanka Panava Patahadya Ashtadasha Vadya Gosha Santata Sabdayamana Sakala Digantare Narada Tumburu Veena Gana Manohare Savatsa Gosahasra Aneka Koti Varana Vastra Bharana Bhudana Bahumana Santoshita Patra Bhuto Bhaya Sambandhi Rajasreshta Vamshavali Nama Gotra Pravaroccharana Nipuna Vasishtha Vamadeva Vishwamitra Shatanandadi Sakala Munigana Sankirna Vivaha Vedika Madhye Krita Vidhistava Siddhas Maharshi Sangye Abjabhava Jishnubhava Adityagana Saptamaru Dashtavasu Yakshagana Siddhagana Rudragana Dikpati Kula Pramavihita Mitra Kularatna Sugunastava Samasta Prashasta Birudastoma Ninade Nirasta Dhanadendra Birude Sankarshanadhyamara Brindava Kiryamana Mandara Pramukha Nandana Vishwavasu Kusumani Bahavarshe Navaratna Khachita Kanakamaya Mandape Kinchitarabdhatarunyam Natajanayakarunyam Vidhimuka Sura Vidita Pratapam Parihrita Muni Janatapam Bhanukula Ratna Deepam Sampurita Bhakta Janakamam Sajala Jaladhara Shyamam Sakala Loka Abhiramam Shriramam Sanniveshya Ketaki Champaka Mallika Kusumadya Lankrita Neela Lakavenim Kalaham Sagaminim Karunavalokinim Anaghamani Khachita Hemanishka Kantim Swarajita Kalakantim Hatakamani Mayatata Lankrita Kapolam Aganita Kalyana Gunashilam Aravinda Sundara Mandaha Samukhim Shri Raghunandana Bhimukhim Sitam Cha Sanniveshya Vivaha Mahotsavaya Mahasankalpa Purvakam Lagnashtakam Marabhantaha Yam Sita Mama Suta Sahadharmacharitava Pratichachainam Bhadram Te Panim Grinhishva Panina Pativrata Mahabhaga Chayeva Nugata Sada. Beautiful shloka of Srimad Ramayanam. Janaka brings his little daughter Sita, Vaidehi, Maithili, Janaki, Avanija to the Sabha Madhyam. He says, Rama, you're extremely charming. How talented you are. How well read and educated you are. Rama said, I know. Rama, yes, you know, and I too know that you know. But even before you take pride in your charm, in your skills, once look at my daughter, Yam Sita. Oh, what's so special about your daughter? Rama, the earth is mined for gold. I mined the earth for my daughter. She is gold to me. Pon pirandadum bhumiyil, yen pen pirandadum bhumiyil, hiranyavarnam harinim. She's called Sita. People say you're charming. So is my daughter. People say you're educated. So is my daughter. Yam Sita. Janaka, so what do you wish to do with your daughter? Mama Suta. Your daughter, you're saying she's my daughter. What is so special? You, the mother or the father says, she is my daughter. What is so special? Rama, if anybody else had said, she's my daughter, you can just treat it as a relative pronoun. Know about me, Rama. Later in Bhagavad Gita, you will invoke my name. Karmanyaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayaha. My name will feature in your Gita. Rama, no. Though I am the monarch of this region, I believe nothing belongs to me. You, Rama, if you do not know my antecedent, remember, well, I used to be learning under my Acharya Yajnavalkya. The other classmates of mine used to wonder why the teacher shows immense love and concentration on me. And one day, to prove my education right, my Acharya Yajnavalkya set the entire Mithila on fire. When things were burning left and right, that time my Acharya Yajnavalkya asked me, Janakaraja, Siradhvaja, Mithila is burning. Your cars and your vehicles are burning. Go protect your vehicles. You know what I said, Rama? Pradiptayam, Mithilayam, name kinchit pradakyate. Acharya, burning may be Mithila, burning may be its accessories, but nothing that burns belongs to me. I am bereft of this I and me. I have never said I am this or this is mine. I have been bereft. I've been a Vairagyashali, but Rama, trust me. My daughter is so precious that she has made even Janaka like me say, Mama Suta, she's my daughter. Then how great she will be. Yam Sita, Mama Suta, Saha Dharma Charitava. If you walk on the path of Dharma, don't think she will just follow you. If you take to Adharma, she will correct you and bring you to the path. Saha Dharma Charitava. Praticha Chainam Bhadramte, hold her hands tightly in such a way, not like how your father held your mother's hand. If in case in your life she is lost, you will have to walk for miles and miles to bring her back. You should prove your love that way. Praticha Chainam Bhadramte, Panim Grinhishva Panina Pativrata Mahabhaga Chayeva Anugata Sada. This is called Kanyaka Danam or Panigrahanam. So this is the most important sacred samskara of any Bharatiya marriage. This Mangalya Dharanam, okay, 8 pounds. Each gram is 10,000 rupees now. If anybody gives it, wear it, that's all. But most important is Panigrahanam. Now, this happened at a very, very early age. We don't even know. Some people say Yuga, some people say a few thousand years back. But 250 years back lived a great Acharya called Tyagaraja Swami in the Panchanadi Kshetram called Thiruvayyar. जैसे कि उत्तर भारत में हम बोलते हैं पंजाब, वो शब्द का ही अर्थ है कि जिधर जिस भूमि में 5 नदियां बहती हैं, वैसे ही दक्षिण भारत का पंजाब है, which is not flying high though, is Thiruvayyar, Panchanadi Kshetram. So Tyagaraja Swami, who was born in Tiruvarur, relevant people whose name we should remember being born in Tiruvarur is Tyagaraja. So then he grew up in Thiruvayyar. He wanted to conduct a beautiful marriage for Rama and Sita. He asked MLR center there. They said, itna hai deposit, itna hai GST. Tyagaraja said, where will I go for that money? I write kritis. I only write kritis. I am not rich. People in Kali Yuga who will sing my kritis will become rich. They will end up singing my kritis and finally say Rama Bhakti is not required and may win 1 or 2 titles also. So, Tyagaraja Swami said, I am too poor, in destitution. What will I do? Which mandapam will I choose? He said, Daharakasha, my Hridayakasha, my heart is the mandapam, the auricle, the ventricle, the aorta, the pulmonary vein, all that runs. That is the mandapam. All the capillaries and everything that you can think of, let it be the jhula. Let Rama and Sita be seated, I will swing. When he wanted to swing, he realized he's too small a person. Absolutely no match for the caliber and the charm and the qualities that Rama and Sita possess. Upon assuming a mask of inferiority on him, he took 2 steps back. And he said, how can I swing this for the great Dampati? While he took 2 steps back, he chanced and hit upon the gym body of Hanuman. Hanuman, ಏಮಂಡಿ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ? ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ನೀವು ತೆಲುಗು. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಇರೋದು ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಪಾರ್ಥಪೋ. Hanuman said, Swami, you are thinking I am a devotee. After you are born, Tyagaraja, if there is somebody who's an epitome of Rama Bhakti, it is you, not me. While they were both competing with each other as to who should swing the swing for the divine couple, was born this momentous composition for every pre-wedding shoot reel. Pavanaja stuti patra pavana charitra ravi somavara netra ramaniya gatra Sita kalyana vaibhogame Rama kalyana vaibhogame nigama gama vihara nirupama sharira nagadhara ghavidara nadalokadhara Parameshanuta Gita Bhava Jaladhi Pota Tarani Kula Samjata Tyagarajanuta Sita Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame. This comes in Balakandam. As Ayodhya, Aranya, Kishkindha, Sundarakandams happened towards the end of Yuddhakandam when Rama and Sita returned to Ayodhya. On a beautiful day of Pushya Nakshatra, they were given the ceremonial bath and holding their hands together, wearing the best of silk robes, they walked into the Sabha Mantapam, which is a Hema Mantapam, Hema Kachita Nishka Kanteen, beautiful Mantapam. And the description goes that all of them were present, to the Vanaras, to their families, to the Rakshasas, to Vibhishana, to Sugriva. And as they walked up the stairs that was gilded in gold, they turned and sat on the same Simhasanam with Bharata holding the umbrella from the behind, Lakshmana and Shatrughna doing Chamara Kainkaryam. Similarly, in Tyagaraja's life, when he was celebrating Rama Pattabhishekam, on the day he was celebrating, his Sishyas came and told him, Swami, Muttuswami Dikshita has come to our city. Tyagaraja said, oh, Dikshita has come, Guru Guha has come, call him. So Muttuswami Dikshita, who was many years younger to Tyagaraja Swami, entered the house of Tyagaraja and said, Swami, it is a great pleasure to meet a Rama Bhakta like you. Tyagaraja said, today is the Pattabhishekam that I am conducting, Dikshita. What a fortune that you have come. Mahatmanam darshanamuttamam syat, Mahatma Vakyam Shravanambaram syat, Sreshto bhavet sadhugunanuvadaha, Shlagyo bhavet sadhu samagamopi. Mahatma, you have come. It is a pleasure for me to house you. Can you sing one kriti for my Rama? It is Pattabhishekam today. Chhatra chamara kara dhruta bharata lakshmana Shatrughna Vibhishana Sugriva Pramukhadi sevita atri Vasishthyadyanugraha Patra Dasharatha Putra मणिरङ्गवल्यालङ्कृत नवरत्नमण्टपे विचित्र मणिमय सिंहासने सीतया सह संस्थित सुचरित्र परम पवित्र गुरुगुहमित्र पंकजमित्र वंशसुधाबुधि चन्द्र निधिपाल रामचन्द्रमामव पट्टाभिरामा जय मारुति सन्नुत नामा. So we have concluded with Sita Kalyanam and Rama Pattabhishekam. All the 4 days, 2 days last week, 2 days this week, especially yesterday, which was a weekday, not even a weekend. The organizers, the sponsors were extremely worried who will come on a weekday. I said, see, I have some other commitments tomorrow and later I have some other upanyasams. I should not leave this moment. Whoever comes, we will speak. But we saw who all came. So if people have come from different parts of Bengaluru, knowing the infrastructure and the traffic issues that we face with your own personal and professional commitments, it only proves that how relatable, enjoyable is Ramayana even today. See, you barely find a scripture that can be repeated time and again, different points in time through discourses, through concerts, through dance performances, through productions, through movies now. So many movies. How many serials on Ramayana? But why does it manage to remain fresh? Because it is not a story. It is our history. We have put the garb of a story on it. Ramayanam is not a figment of somebody's imagination. It is itihasa. It happened. The Varnana may be exaggerating at times. It may seem like a hyperbole in some places. But Ramayana's history to us. Without this, there is no big foundation that is supporting Ramayana in R&D. Nobody is pumping in $10 billion. Nothing. It is an organic grantham that has followers everywhere, across different parts of the country. So Ramayanam has attracted us in such a beautiful occasion. I'm extremely thankful to the organizer, both the venues, here the MLR and there the RV Dental College, to the sponsor, to the organizer Aradhana Talks, to all the sponsors. All of their names have been displayed. They've been extremely gracious. See, a pop concert, any concert that stems from the Western world, all of them will get sponsors. But generally, Ramayana-based, Mahabharata-based, we have this magical word called secular. Organizers will be worried. Sponsors will say, no sir, it won't come under CSR because this is not secular activity. I said, anybody can come and listen to Ramayana. We don't say that only people of this religion should come and listen. Anybody, then it is social event. No sir, CSR will not agree. Some CSR is a great Acharya. He will not agree. But sponsors here, they have taken the pains, whether it is religion or not. We are going to sponsor the cultural activity. So, big hand to the sponsors. As mentioned to you, July 8th, 9th, 10th, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. every day, free event, no registration. I will be speaking in Tamil on Narayaniyam at the Domlur Surya Narayana Swami Temple. Then I have subsequent lectures in the US, then in October in Netherlands and in UK. All this is there on my social media handles, LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook, Twitter, what is left? YouTube. Twitter is X, that is what Elon says. So all this is there. So you can see there, all of it has been published. If there are youngsters here, show that to your grandparents in case they are not that tech savvy. Show it to them. If you have relatives in all these places, tell them if they have time, they can attend. Tell them he's after all not that bad. So ask them to attend. And my books are out on display. Today I have had the pleasure to introduce to you Sri Sujata Deshikan. Please, sir. Vango. So he, Swami Abdel, you can see the audience. So he's the person, the great Tamil author. He's recoined himself as Sujata Deshikan. His name is Deshikan Narayanan, who serves the corporate world but extremely devoted to the Tamil language. So he found it worthy enough to translate the book that I have authored in English into Tamil language. So he's there. If you've got the Tamil copies, you can get it signed from him as well. He'll be very happy to sign them for you. Thank you, Sujata Deshikanti. And we have Sridevi Muralidhar, who did it in Telugu. She lives in Hyderabad. And we have Ashutosh Garg, who did it in Hindi. Some of you have been asking for Kannada. Let's see. So every translation is a painstaking process. We'll surely do it. We want to respect every language. So every language is beautiful, but we need to find the right resources and the time. We'll do it subsequently. And I've told you about the yatras. Again and again, people come and ask me for either the number or the details. I told you Egypt and Cambodia is for January 2026. Tentatively, Kerala for Feb 2026. Indonesia for May 2026. Kerala and Indonesia, we have not released the itinerary. It's still a work in progress. But some of you who are extremely sure that you want to be a part of Kerala Divireshams or Indonesia to the Hindu temples there, you will have to get in touch with the number that I mentioned the last 3 days. If you don't have the number, please note it down. I'll just tell you that I'm pretty sure that I'm quite clear in what I'm communicating. Nevertheless, I'll tell you again, 81378. It's a 10-digit Indian mobile number. 81378 98571. 81378 98571. The person whom you will be speaking to is a part of our team. Her name is Lata. Express your interest. Once you evince your interest, she will note it down. And when the itinerary is finalized, she'll be able to mail you. And you can that will be sent for your perusal. You can check if you would like to be a part of the yatra. Thank you so much. Pavamana sutudu patu parara vindamulaku ninama rupamulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam Rajiva Nayana Tyagaraja Vinudamaina Ninama Rupamulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimati Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jeevana Smaranam